Welcome to Gourmet Shut-In, my perfect little puff pastries. Today we're going to start using some of that gluten-free sourdough starter and make some gluten-free overnight cinnamon rolls. These are the things you'll need. We're going to start with 1 egg, 1 1/4 cup of almond milk, or you can use regular milk. I'm making this for my lovely mail lady who is gluten-free and dairy-free, so we're hooking her up. 1/3 cup of melted coconut oil or butter. 1/2 cup of our sourdough discard. Just nice and fluffy. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're just going to mix that up lightly just to get everything incorporated. And now we're going to start adding our dry ingredients in. So I have 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. I'd like to grind up a whole bunch of this and just keep it in the refrigerator. The minute it comes out of that hull, it'll start going rancid very quickly if you don't. I have 2 tablespoons of xylem husk? Xylem husk? Yeah, that's how you say it. You can substitute xanthan gum if that's all you have. Just if you're doing xanthan gum, just make sure you use 1 tablespoon instead. We have 1 1/2 cups of oat flour. You can make this yourself. It's really easy. Just throw some oats into a blender. Bloop. Oh gosh. 1 cup of potato flour. I don't know how to make this. 1/2 cup of tapioca flour. We have 2 tablespoons of sugar. Feel free to substitute this with any type of sugar that you'd like. Maple sugar works great. Coconut sugar is really tasty in there, but I have white sugar. 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So what we're going to do now is just mix it up just a little bit. Again, we don't want to over mix gluten-free items. It makes the dough really tough and stringy. So at this point we want to take a rubber spatula, just get kind of underneath it, make sure that we're incorporating everything in there, and we're going to give it one little final spin. If you're done with your baking for the day, just cover this with a towel. You don't even have to take it out of the bowl, but I'm using this mixing bowl again later. So I'm just going to transfer it out to a different one. It smells so good. It just smells like vanilla. I'm just going to make a little dough ball. Just to make it nice and happy. Just cover up this booger with a little bit of plastic wrap and go to bed. It's morning and we're going to finish up our cinnamon rolls. We have 1 cup of dates that are soaked in some hot water. Let them sit for like 5 or 6 minutes, not too long. Just drain off that water. We're gonna throw it into a blender. Use a food processor, that's totally fine. We have 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 cup of any type of sugar you like. We're using coconut sugar today. Feel free to use white, maple sugar, whatever you want. It's all good. So there's a reason why I kept this liquid. You'll see in a second. I know I have a fancy blender, but it's my job. You can use any blender. I used to pick them up at the thrift store all the time. It's great. So just start up your blender. Yeah. When it starts to make some angry noises, just add a little bit of this water in. like a jet engine just landed in my kitchen. So you want it to be almost like a really thick caramel or dulce de leche. It's even similar to like an almond butter or a peanut butter kind of texture and consistency. So you can see that our cinnamon rolls have risen a little bit. There's definitely like some pressure inside of there of the gases trying to escape. So we're just going to take a non-stick pad, put it down, place your dough on top. We're going to flour the top just so our rolling pin or glass bottle doesn't stick. Just kind of hold on to that mat and make sure it doesn't run away from you. There we go. We're about even. So we're rolled out. We're pretty flat. Now, time for the smearing. Boop. We want to leave about 1/4 to 1/2 inch around the sides, just because it'll blub out a little bit when we roll it up, making upwards. So what I'm going to do is use this mat to kind of fold it over. And we're going to fold it right on to our cutting board. If you have a larger kitchen, this would be way easier. Whee! Yay, it's perfect. So we're going to cut off our ends. There's really not too much good in there, so get rid of it. And we're cutting to about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch right now. I like to keep mine a little bit smaller. If you want a big honkin' cinnamon roll, go for it. Do as you please. I just find these a little bit more manageable. And they're good to give to your, mail lady. So I'm kind of rounding them out a little bit more with my hands and then putting them into a greased up dish. You can use butter or coconut oil. So we're gonna give a little spacing to these guys. Make sure that they have enough room to grow and be happy and live their little cinnamon lives. Last but not least, definitely not least because we still have things to do, cover it with cloth. Kitchen towel works, linen, whatever you got, it's fine. And just place it someplace warm for about an hour or two. We're gonna see them poof up a little bit more and then we're gonna bake them. Our rolls have only been sitting for about an hour. They've risen a little bit, not too much. Since it's nice and warm, an hour is fine. If it's a really chilly day, I would give it about 2 or 3. Preheat your oven to 375. So at this point, I'm gonna pop these boogers into the oven for 20 minutes. First things first, we're gonna make some buttermilk. You can make this with any type of milk. So I have almond milk here. Feel free to use it with cow, goat, sheep, llama, mouse, whatever. So there's 3 tablespoons of milk in this container and only 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice. You can also use white vinegar if you would like. Just pour that right in. And we're gonna mix that around. Give it about 5-6 minutes to just kind of thicken up and start curdling. While you're waiting for that, we have 1 cup of powdered sugar. If you don't have powdered sugar, that's totally fine. Just put 1 cup of sugar into the blender with 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, arrowroot powder, or tapioca starch. That's gonna make a DIY powdered sugar that is mighty fine. If you're paleo or anything along those lines, you can do that as well with coconut sugar. And we're adding to that 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Nice, we're getting thick. So we're gonna take this and whisk it right in. Also, if you don't want your mixing bowl to move around on you, put a towel underneath. Now, I haven't added all of it in yet. I kind of want to check my consistency first. That's actually exactly where I want it right now. It's kind of that sugary, gluey consistency. And I used probably 2/3 of my buttermilk. We'll just keep this on the side while we wait for our cinnamon buns to finish up. House is smelling good. I think it's time to take those buns out of the oven. Ooh. So we have some browning on the side and on the bottom. That's what we're looking for. I don't want to tip them onto me. They smell so good. And we're going to take our creamy goodness and just plop some right on top. Thanks for tuning into Gourmet Shut-In and watching our gluten-free sourdough cinnamon roll. Make sure you like and subscribe for more recipes, and we'll see you soon. Bye.